Goodness. Goodness. Woo. Man, you don't feed them for a week, they start growling. Little growligators. Goodness. All right. What do you think, little lady? So that's Lady, that's Izzy, that's Pork, that's Chop, or Bacon Bus. This is the Bacon Brigade. Yep, something like that. What's up, buddy? Oh, sorry, scared him. Scared him. Yeah, with all this rain we've been having, I haven't fed them because, of course, grubs come to the top and everything else. And they've been eating pretty stinking good. So this is a grower finisher food, which we really only want these guys on, but it doesn't hurt the girls to eat a little bit. So about every other day, they get a little bucket full. Woo, let's go check on the creek. Well, after a week of like 7 days of rain almost every day, and we should have more coming tonight. I think it's more of a sporadic shower rather than a downpour. But we've got almost 8.5 inches of rain, like 8,000 lightning strikes and 50-mile-an-hour winds in the past week. And the rain is just unreal. The creek is still overflowed. Usually 24 hours after it stops raining, we can see the concrete, but the creek is still up. Still just an unprecedented amount of rain. And you know, it's funny, I mentioned it yesterday in our other video. People have told me, well, we're taking down trees, so we're going to get more water. Well, that's not how it works. Okay, when you get more water than you normally get, you're just going to have more water, and water is going to find its own path. So, but it's gone down quite a bit. But let me show you something. So yesterday I marked it with this landscape or rock rake tie, whatever the heck it is, I don't know. So that's how high the water was yesterday, and it's gone down this much, but it's still not exposing the concrete, which tells me that concrete shifted. It had to quite a bit. So, but that is just a lot of water. The tire's still there. Holy cow, I don't believe it. That's crazy. Yeah, we had enough water to force one of those pipes over. It was all the way up on the bank. It was halfway up the tree, from what I understand. So, pretty crazy. We've still got water just coming out of the ground right here. It's gonna be here a minute, but I'm very thankful. My cousin's husband, Luke, so I could just say my cousin Luke, cousin-in-law, he messaged me the other day because he's from a town near us. And he went home to check, I guess, or maybe he was out working. But he said, man, are you guys underwater? Because he was down in our neck of the woods. And I said, well, thankfully our house is on the second highest part of the property. So basically God's promise, you know, the rainbow, I'll never flood the earth again. We're not gonna have to worry about water. We're too high up. So we'll be all right, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't get a little dicey sometimes. But they said in 20 years, my neighbor told me when he was 16, so it's about 20 years ago, the highest it's ever made it was that pink fence, just about, and that's why we stopped our fence there. So good move on our part, with the advice of our neighbor, thankfully. All right, let's go check and see what everybody's doing. Woo! Yeah, we got a bit of metal to clean up there. I like to keep you guys updated with what I'm doing, but I want to clean this up. I don't like that I can't use it, but we had our flatbed trailer sitting there and it just got a little out of control. So I need to get that metal out of there, and then I'll run my brush hog or something like that through it. All these tree stumps are looking good. And by looking good, I mean good and gone. I'll put some dirt on them, bring the ground up a little bit. Hang on, let's check the water level under the porch. I got my tall boots on today. Look how good the grass is coming in. It should, good grief. So, yeah, that's not what you want right there. But that is a condensation line from our HVAC right inside there, the downstairs HVAC. So we got to get that water out of there. Now that board right there, that's only supporting the deck or the porch. So yeah, Adler hit some bones down there. He thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, yep, that's the story. We're just gonna put a little sump pump under there, and I probably won't even leave it full time. You guys, you have to remember, this is an unprecedented amount of rain. It has not rained like this, they said, since 2019. So we're closing in on 7 years ago since it rained like this. It's kind of like when, you know, Texas, most of Texas, I think the frost line's like 12 inches. And it's like when Texas a few years back was under, you know, like below freezing for, what was it? Some of y'all that live down there, it was like 6 days and you lost power, all the pipes froze. You know, so are the new construction guys burying everything 2 feet deep now? No, it's Texas. It's so rare when that happens that you got to adjust and move forward. But speaking of greener pastures, woo, baby. See, I took out all the unsightly stumps that we've had around the property. All the ones we could see. There's still a mess here. I'm probably going to take those 2 trees down today. But I took down one there that was a little higher than the mower. A little too high for the mower, I should say. But a lot of you guys have mentioned digging a trench right here. We don't want to trench down. That's the problem. Okay? They took too much earth off of that right there. That's why it's doing that. But Ray actually had a pretty good idea. I think what we'll do is I might put like a little fire pit right here and really build it up. Like, I'm talking something that you walk over to and step up on, if that makes sense. So you'll come off the deck right there, walk over to this, and there'll be like an elevated fire pit platform. Does that make sense? We think that'd be pretty cool. That's one idea we had. But that would help us put some material back on that, and it wouldn't look so random. But again, it's not so much the leach field. Let me show you. So at some point, the earth used to be, I say the earth, all the dirt and soil and rocks and everything, it used to be higher right here on top of the leach field. But at some point, not us, but somebody removed material here and stacked it around the pool. They also put it up on top of the septic. My septic's like 4 feet in the ground. It's kind of ridiculous. Especially, I'm talking the lid, not just the septic. They removed earth from right here, which made this change, okay? This should have been higher. Now, we didn't know this. There was no way to know this. It wasn't raining when we bought the house, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it just is what it is, but you can't really come in here and just push earth up against the fence. That's not how it works. If anything, if I was really feeling froggy, I could like trench right here and keep it outside the fence the whole way. But what that means is I'm gonna have to make it deeper. And at some point, there's gonna be like an actual trench. But I'd rather do it out here than my leach field, obviously. But you can see, I mean, it's like actually flowing. And that water right there, that's not coming out of our septic. That is water coming off the top pasture. Willow! What do you say, dog? What do you say? There's something to do every day. And I love it. I love that there's something to do every day. But you can't fix everything in a day. You can't fix everything in 6 days, 7 days, 8. Well, I mean, we all know only one person. It took them 6 days to do everything, right? I love it though, man. I love it, I love it. There was a stump over here that was like 24 inches in diameter, probably 4 feet out of the ground. Took her out, she gone. Grass coming up over here. See what our corn situation looks like. Yeah, I've got it shut off, so it only threw corn twice before I shut it off. But I tell you what I'm gonna do. If you're a hunter, you know you know. But if you want to bring in deer, and I don't, you know, it says big buck deer. The first time we had bucks on our property at our feeder way back there in the back is when I bought this on the sale rack at Tractor Supply. So they can find this, man. So I'm going to put a little bit, I have like a, wish I had a bucket. I mean, I've got a bucket, but all right, I dropped about a half a bag there. The thing I'm curious about is, will deer come all the way up here? Because I know they can jump that fence, but will they walk through the 20 acres and come up here and do that? Will they come through this pasture? Will they, you know, where will they come from? Will they walk by the side of the house? I don't know. But we're going to stick a camera probably like on that post right there. I just hope the cows leave it alone. They like to mess with stuff. Actually, what they like to do is mess with me. And they know if they mess with my cameras, they're messing with me, and they think it's funny. I know you guys are just dying to see more wood chipping videos. But if I come in here with the wood chipper, it'll destroy the ground. I mean, I'll have to spend twice as much time fixing it, regrading it, all that good stuff. So it's going to take a couple days. It's definitely got to dry out. I might be able to come from that direction, but I'll have to cut myself a path because I've never actually been able to take a tractor along there. So we'll get it sorted, but there's plenty of trees to take down. Don't worry. We got plenty to do. It's going to take us a little bit. I'm ready for it to dry out. I got to be honest. I know here in like a week or two, we're going to be more into the hotter months of June, and I bet you we're praying for rain in less than 30 days, but it is what it is. Wow. Looks so good. And we can probably, here in the next day, come in here and we can chip a lot of that mess. So. I wonder if any of that would even burn right now. If you could get it going, would it even go? You know what I'm saying? You guys let me know, when would you burn that? Wait till there's snow on the ground? And we've still got a lot of leaves on it. So if it was drier, the leaves would float. And I just checked, we've still got about 12-mile-an-hour winds, but we are on the backside of the hill. So there's not as much wind. A lot of that's dirt too, man. I mean, what do you do with it? I mean, the dozer guy almost worked himself into another job. I don't know, man. I got to do something about it. I don't want to look at it all through the summer. If anybody has any ideas, let me know down below. Creek's looking good. So you can see all the sunshine we haven't had before because we've been in here just a chipping. But I just sharpened my chainsaw and I'm probably gonna tear into this hill right here and see if we can get some more leaves for these guys to eat. Yep, get a good look at it. Let me see what I can do. There we go. Half a dozen trees for the lawn care service. They all love it. Sugar! What you think, little lady? Come up for air. So yeah, not too bad. You can see the difference it makes. Morning, Tipsy. How's the bag? Looking big. Still got some time, but she's definitely puffy. Definitely puffy. Typically, I've seen, so the other day we had some grease on the old calf launcher. And typically I've seen it up to 30 days after seeing that grease. So we still got some time. Still got some time. Sugar! What do you think, little lady? Is that good? Mom teaching you guys a superpower? Turning leaves into beef? Num num. Num num. Is that good, buddy? Is that good? Miss Glory. Looking beautiful, lady. Bunny! What do you say? Where's June? Uh-oh. We got a... Who found blackberries and didn't tell any? Or raspberries, whatever they are. Junebug. Hey. Psst. Uh-oh, her and Tipsy. It's always interesting to see who moves out of these two. But Tipsy's like a foot taller, so they could probably just share. Oh, the whole daggone bush. Oh, man. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, hang on. Time out. Wait a minute. No, I cut one tree down and it fell on that. I think it's still actually intact, but obviously they're going to crush it. We got 40 acres of trees, folks. That ain't the only bush. Looking good. Yeah, see, it's that one right there. It's folded over. All right, relax. I looked it up. It's red mulberries. You're all wrong. I looked it up. Red mulberries. People have been asking about the app we use too. It's called Picture This, and we pay for it. And I have no regrets because it tells you the health of your plant. It reminds you when to water. If you let it use your location, it'll actually tell you when to skip watering because you got 8 inches of rain in 6 days. But it's pretty slick. But yeah, that's what they look like. Red mulberries. But the app even says if you've got one, you've got 100. All right, I might have exaggerated on that part, but trust me, we have more. It does tell you, though, that you've got good pollinators. And the tree looks healthy, which it says the tree looks healthy, but there's currently another tree laying on it. So maybe the app's not perfect, but what are you gonna do? Phineas! Here's the alligator pond. It's interesting. You know, we've called this a spring, but we don't actually know. But it's definitely a depression. Like there is a hole here. So that's just why it holds water. We just thought it was interesting that when we found this last year, it had water in it like the middle of July. And there was no reason for water to be in here. So we don't know, but we'll try it. We will try it. So this is where I need to come through with the tractor. I mean, I've got my chainsaw right now, but what I'd rather do is come through with the tractor and the chipper on it and give it a full send and cut a path out of here. This is one of those spots though. I spent a lot of time in here with a disc mulcher about a month ago, and previously you couldn't even walk through here. So I feel pretty good about it. So we just fed the cows some trees right through there. We'll pop out here. And the corner of the property's back there, but we're gonna jet down to that open gate, or that gate, and see if it's open, I should say. And by open, I mean I wanna make sure the water's flowing. This would be a good spot for a pond back here. And when I shouldn't say, I gotta quit saying pond because I think I'm confusing some of you guys. This would be a great spot for a wading pool. Because when the creek overflows, or I should say when we get a lot of rain, water comes right diagonally across our property. I mean, almost perfect. It's only like 300 feet off in one direction. And then it is literally from one corner to the next. And it fills this spot back here. I mean, it's just absolutely saturated, and it runs to this creek. Well, what that means is, as long as it takes the water to leave the property, it's here the longest. So like this would be a perfect spot for a pond for the cows. I mean, it's this gate back here. But I say that because when and if this overflowed, it would just go out that way into the neighbor's property, right? And ultimately to the creek. And yeah, that's what we want. Oh yeah, we're not too bad. Not too bad at all. I am gonna pull that out of there though. That's better. Whew. It's actually just one good sized log that needed to free up, so that'll take care of it. That'll do. That'll do, that'll do. Yep. No, I've been watching a lot about deer management and stuff like that, and I think even like a little waiting area right there for deer, because they love the creek over there, but it's always flowing, if you know what I mean. It's hard to get a drink out of, the volatility of the highness, the lower the level. So anyway, having an actual spot for deer to jump in and drink out of, especially if we could put one right here where they can't be bothered by other, you know, by the cows, would be just perfect. So, yep. Should we sight in the birthday present real quick? Make sure it's still on target. Ready? It's about 30 yards. And that's how you do that. By the way, if anybody's curious, that's all I'm going to show you, but it is a Rossi R92, I think, in 22 LR, 22 long rifle. Rossi, R-O-S-S-I. Dad's got one, Kyle's got one. That's my third. So they're like 275 bucks. Great little rifle. 22's cheap. That'll take out anything. You know, aim small, miss small. I'm just saying, just for a varmint gun, it's about as good as it gets. It always goes bang. So looking for a good Father's Day gift. Oh, do it again, June. Look at Miss June getting creek water. She likes that. She likes that. She heard me now, so she's watching to see if I get out with cake. Yep. That's where we left the cows, is right in there with those trees. Does that feel good?